every minute with the fever dreams. I push a mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss. See, I got my mind on the facts. I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it. I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Bitcoin currently sitting at 87,694. A little bit of a pullback, but not too surprising. We've been following this channel for, it feels like, a couple months at this point, and it has honored that trend, and the trend is your friend until the end, in this case especially. So we'll look at that when we get to the charts. There are some opportunities out there. I posted one in the Discord. We will look at that today here on the show. But come on over to the Discord if you guys want to go back and look at that setup in particular, see the screenshot, and get a little bit more detail, and then mix it up with the crew. It is a community-driven Discord at this point. I have dropped all of the premium. All you got to do is come over, sign up for 2-bit, put $5 in that just to let us know you're legit, but that doesn't come to me. That stays with you. That's just how you get in the game. Verify your UID and you're ready to go. All access, baby. You get access to traders, analysts that are being compensated, all right? So they are no joke. They know how to trade. They're giving you key setups. I'm putting all my analysis in there. And again, absolutely free. Okay, so it is a good community. Come on over, check it out. It would be awesome to see you guys over there. Now, that being said, there has been all kinds of conversations. I'm hearing people talk about a gamma and, the price might get very volatile and shoot up, shoot down, whatever the case may be. I got the levels for you. I got the places to look for because, even if it does move, right? Like, are you going to be on the right side of that move? And, are you going to get trapped? Because a lot of times where you see this volatility come into the market, you'll see this initial move, kind of like a fake out, right? And then you get trapped in a position, or you get liquidated, and then it goes in a direction, or you get stopped out, and then it goes in the direction, because there's that inherent volatility that comes with some of these moves prior to it actually happening. So again, key levels, that's what we're going to focus on here today. That being said, let's give some shout out to the homies. I know you guys are in the chat. Much love to you guys. Much appreciated. Gotta say what's up. Of course, we got the lady herself, Alexandra G, the best mod in all the space. What up to you? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. We got Rashad in here. How you doing, bro? Good to see you as well. Darren does things. He stopped by to smash the like. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. Hope all is well with you. And then, of course, have no fear. Squid is here. What up to Crypto Squid? How you doing, bro? Good to see you in the chat. Much love to you. Infinite Team TA, my man. He knows. Let me see. Here it is.
The cream of the crop.
Nobody does it better. That's what I'm talking about. Dropping those emojis. Love to see it. Thank you for being here. My man, Bits of Wealth. Let's go. What up, yo, man? Hey, guys, if you don't know, if I haven't introduced you yet to Bits of Wealth, go check him out, all right? He does a lot of work on X. Definitely give him a follow. Me and him are very, very similar in our mindsets and how we execute and look at the market. So, if you enjoy the analysis that I do, I promise you will enjoy his analysis as well. Very smart dude. And hopefully we'll do some collabing here soon. Looking forward to that. All right, let's go ahead and get on with the show. We got to look at the total market cap. That is sitting at 2.96 trillion. That is down 1.16%. Fear and Greed Index currently sitting at 29. That is fear. It is not altcoin season. 16 out of 100. And Bitcoin dominance is at 59.2%. So that is starting to kind of plateau a little bit. We did have a nice move up off of that lower trend line. We may take a look at that if we have some time. Bitcoin currently sitting at 87,684. That is down 0.51% over 24 hours, and Ethereum is at 29.44. That is down 1.3% over the last 24 hours. Let's go over to the bubbles and see your big movers. Pippin up 36.8%. It ain't a rainy day for rain. That's up 11.9%. And we got FTN, Fast Token. Don't know as much about Fast Token. I got to be honest with you. I've heard of it. Don't know much about it. That is down 22.6%. Knight is having a little bit of a pullback, but man, Knight has had an epic move to the upside. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit of a cool off, to be realsies, but Midnight, that is down 22%. CC down 10%, Pump is down 10.3%. Everything else, pretty status quo out there. You see some movers to the top side, to the bottom side, 3-4%. Nothing too crazy to write home about. This is your top 100. Let's go ahead and get over to the part that you guys love, and that is going to be the daily degen. All right, here we go. The way this works, I give you guys the opportunity as the audience to vote whether we go long or short. Simply vote moon or doom. Looks like we got 10 votes in right now. You are 80% moon. There's no coming back from that. So full transparency, this is just for fun. It's not how I trade. I don't really do any analysis on it. What I do like to do is just be like, hey, I will take a sentiment-based trade, essentially what you guys are doing, and then I'll put some, I'll put a take profit and a stop loss on it, and we'll let this thing run throughout the show, and we'll see which way it goes. This is a demo account, just to be fully transparent with you guys, all right? So you see $10,000 in there. This is a demo account, all right? So I was doing it on my other account, but, I do care about the P&L and winning, and that way I can look back and easily decipher like, hey, okay, I've executed this many trades. Here's my actual win rate, and it's I got to take that aspect of it serious. So this is a demo account. This is just for funsies. So let's have a little funsies, right? We can go a little bit larger, knowing that we're gonna have some fun with it. So we got a 20x in. We are not going to go cross. I never recommend doing that, even if it is a demo account. That'll get you upside down kind of quick. and you guys want to go long, but we can have some fun today, right? Let's go ahead and put a cool G on it. Again, this is not how I would normally trade, but today we are, because why not? It's a paper account. All right, so let's look at advanced settings here. You know what? Nah, yeah, that's all good. You know what? Let's put one on there. We'll do latest. That's fine. Let's go advanced. That way we have something. I'm just gonna throw these out there so that it has something to work with, and then we'll adjust. It's kind of the easiest way here on 2-bit. We are working on getting this bar right here. You see this green bar? I'm working on it. All right. I've hit up my rep over and over again. We're going to get you. So once you enter, you'll be able to slide this up and down and have your stop loss and your take profits right there. Easy access. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and send this right now. It's going to pop up here. Cool. Thank you. Thank you for all the warnings. Not really. Oh, did they do it? Oh, no. Okay. That's because I put it in there. Got it. All right. So here we are. Let's go ahead and look at this a little bit. Well, it should let us slide here. There it is. There it is. All right, so we got the wick right there. And then, man, we might be sending this one, huh? Let's go with the candle close here. Again, this is a minimal. We're not doing any TA. All right, we're just having some fun. That's the way the daily DGen works. And the crazy part about it, all right, the thing that I like about this, and the reason I like doing it, is it shows you, even you can do all the TA you want to do, and you guys have a better than 50% hit rate. So we'll be able to keep track of that. That's the other benefit of doing this on the demo account, is that we can keep track of your guys' P&L and your hit rate based on the votes, right? This is an amazing piece of data that we're going to be able to keep, and to show you that it a lot of times has more to do with just risk management than it does with you being good at, analyzing the charts. Like, it's amazing, and you guys will see over time. So this will be kind of cool. We'll be able to keep track of it on the show, but we're gonna come back to that on to the rest of the show. First up, silver surpasses Apple to become the 3rd largest asset in the world by market cap. So we have that kind of that lagging push by silver. Gold made its move. Now silver's making its move. The metals, man. The metals have been out of control this year. It has been the year of the metal, no doubt about it. Gold, silver looking good. They've been great investments. They've actually, it's a rare occurrence, but they have outperformed Bitcoin and other crypto assets this year. There's no doubt about it. My man, Infinite Team TA, donating $2. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Too sweet to be sour. Oh, yeah. I love it, man. I love it. Here you go. One more time.
Cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Let's go. Macho Man Randy Savage. What a legend, dude. What an absolute legend. If you guys don't like WWE, I'm sorry, man. I do. I've grown up with it as a kid, and then me and my little guy, that's our bond. All right. So yes, I still watch wrestling. I call me what you want. I'm trading crypto. I'm looking at charts. So you already know I'm a nerd. All right, and I'm a pilot, so double nerd. Here nor there. Yeah, I do stop. I still watch WWE, man. I still stick with it, man. That's our bond. So we go to WrestleMania. We've gone to 2 WrestleManias now, which was like a dream for me as a kid. I never got to go, but now I've gotten to go twice as an adult. I'm super blessed. I'm blessed, no doubt about it. Gratitude, man. Gotta have it. Let's go over to the economic calendar. Nothing too crazy here. GDP growth rate, that is up. That actually is significant. GDP growth rate up 4.3%. That is above consensus and above forecast. That would be good. It's just what is the catalyst for that? Sometimes that's the question you got to ask yourself. The other thing is, like, we had inflation numbers come out, and let's be real, like core inflation, like they removed some of the biggest factors of core inflation, man. This is a game that they're playing with us. Without a doubt. And they've changed the definition of a recession. They've manipulated the numbers with inflation. I'm getting to the point now, real talk, that I may not even talk about this anymore, because the rules are made up and the points don't matter when it comes to the data we're getting. Like, the only thing that I'm going to look at is be like, all right, cool, this day we might have some volatility, because it almost gets stupid to talk about. And then they change the numbers. you know, next quarter, next month, you get the numbers that are different, and it's like, well, what the hell did I even talk about that for? You know, because those numbers suck now. Anyways, let's go over to the liquidation heat map. Let's talk about something that does matter. And all right, just refreshing that. Let's bring it on over so you guys can see it. There you go. All right, so this is a level that I know. We'll mark this 91.15. That's cool, all Gucci. But this, hold up, wait a minute. Here we go. You gotta give me a second. Oh no, it might block it. I'm gonna have to refresh. Give me 1 second here. Gets a little janky to make it so that it fits me being on the right side. All right, there's the 1 month. Let it reload. There it is. Boom. All right. So I got to do this like whenever I'm setting up, like pre-show. But anyways, this is the area I'm looking at. About 94.5, 94.6. Yeah, about 94.6. All right, so 94.6. I want you to take note of that. Mark that on your charts, okay? Why? Why do I say mark that on your charts? Here we go. Where did my little... Hey, why are you all the way up there? What are you doing? Come on back down. Join the party. Join the party. All right, let's mark it 94.600. Got it. There we go. So just so you know, kind of the outline here, what's going on. Green is liquidity, right? So I go look at the liquidation heat map, then I bring it on over to the actual trading view, and I just mark it, right? I don't put any lines or anything crazy. I just have that green box. And then I have the downside liquidity as well, right? So that actually should slide down just a teeny tiny bit there, all right? That's probably a little bit more realistic. But why do I like this level? Okay, I guess we're getting right to it. We're just spilling the sauce off Jump Street. Let's go ahead and bring this out real quick so you guys can see it a little better. There you go. Sorry about that. Why do I like this level? Well, I like this level for a couple of reasons. One, you have the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. That's a pretty good level. You have the top of the range. All right. You also have the monthly pivot. You want to talk about having confluence? You got some confluence here. There's no doubt about it with these, or with that area specifically. Let me update the, here we go. Fixed range volume profile. I want to update that real quick. Come on, play nice. Play nice with daddy. Is this it? That's not it. All right, it's not gonna play nice right now. Let me see. Do I actually... Why won't you let me select you? Come on. Come on, I know you're in here. I know you are. It's not letting me. I'm gonna have to... No worries. It's only like a day or two old, so it's not gonna change much. But you got the value area high around that level as well, about 93, 169. This is really frustrating because it's underneath of so much stuff. Sorry, it's, you know, it's a me thing. It's a me thing. Anyways, value area high, monthly pivot, 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, and liquidity. All right. And this, we haven't even gone to Market Monkey Terminal yet. This is just looking at Trading View and looking at the liquidation heat map to see, hey, we know liquidity's up here. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Look at the rejections, sharp rejections too, right? You can see the selling pressure come in. We know liquidity's sitting up here. So what am I looking for? This is not like, hey, set a limit order. I got to be clear with you there. But if you see something that looks like that, right? If you see the wick right there, right? You see that selling pressure come in right at that area here. You're going to adjust your stop loss based on that. Based on where it comes up, grabs that liquidity, and then reestablishes back below the zone, back below the monthly pivot. All right, so if you get a big bullish candle through here, impulse move to the upside, it closes up here, invalidated. This is not something you're looking to trade, okay? Just let's be clear about that. I don't want you jumping into something stupid and then saying, well, TradeFly, you said it was going to reject. Well, yeah, most likely it will, but you need to watch it too, right? So set some alerts and then see what do the candles tell you, right? You'll have to go to lower time frames too. We talked a little bit about that in the Discord. Go to some lower time frames and then look for that reaction. But again, you get a big old candle up here, something that looks like this thing right here.
Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
Oh gosh. But if you see that, you're not going to take that, all right? Closes above the zone, no. But if you see stuff like that looks like this, that opens up the opportunity. Now, well, how do we protect ourselves, right? You're going to put a stop loss based on that, right? So there you go. This is going to move. But the going in rate for me is saying, hey, can I get a 2-to-1 out of this? Yes. That opportunity in my mind is very much there. Coming back down to retest the POC of the range is a very common thing that you will see from price action. So this is a way that we get ahead of it. You got a 9 to 5? I'm your guy because I'm looking to get ahead of the price action and I'm waiting. All right. I'm a patient man. A lot of stuff's got to happen to get there, right? We are in a channel. All right. Now we've talked about that. Let me give you the bad news. The bad news is the odds of coming up here are not that great, given that our current trend is down and right very clearly. Okay. Yeah. Everything moves to the right. I got it. So we'll say down. All right. So you have your upper level of resistance, this channel, lower highs, lower lows. It is very clear. We need a break, and we are really starting to consolidate. We're starting to range here, and you're starting to see a series of higher lows. So why am I intrigued? Because the potential is there. All right. The probabilities are increasing. I would say that we could see this move up to this level, right? But you got to break this trend. You got to get out of that channel. All right, gotta have a breakout. What I would expect. Now, this is me just trying to get ahead. So that's the setup. Come to the Discord if you want to see the actual picture. I got that posted, or if you need a reminder. Here we go. Let me do this. This is what I would anticipate if it breaks out. Hear me clearly. If it breaks out. All right, this is not me being Nostradamus here and saying, oh, this is exactly how it's going to happen. I don't know. But this makes a lot of sense to me. Okay? So, break out, come back, retest, reject off the POC, retest this level, finally get that move to the upside. All right? That's what you would be looking for. So, opportunity for a potential short here? Maybe. Opportunity for a potential long here? Maybe. Lower probabilities? Yes. Lower capital, lower leverage if you're trying to make these plays. This one, we have a little bit more conviction with because there's so much confluence in that area. There's a lot lining up at that level at about 94K. And if you see what I was talking about with that leverage or the liquidity, right? That's leverage position, stop losses, all that stuff getting wiped off the map. And then you go over to something like Market Monkey Terminal and you validate what's on the order books. Do you have sell side pressure up there? Is the CVD trending down? Is the open interest spiking, right? That is like kind of this is your big picture. And then you go something like that, like Market Monkey Terminal. And then it's like, all right, this is the confluence I need. And I'm seeing the indications that like confirm this is a probable trade setup. I mean, and that's the best you can do. I mean, for me, right? For me, that's about the best you can do. Again, I really, really like this area. The 2 to 1 is there. Even a 3 to 1 is probably there. But you know, this would kind of be like getting ahead of it and like, what's the expected flow? Is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. It won't look exactly like this, but I can see that being a very reasonable flow in terms of the price action. And that's, you got to try to get ahead of it if you're trying to get into some of these trades and you're a 9 to 5 person like me, right? Like that's one of the most important parts. Like, you got to be ahead of it. All right, so we'll put this box back up there. Here you go, down to about the POC. We'll front run it just a little bit. We'll bring that just above the wick. There you go. And you got a nice, at least 3 to 1, I think, even with fees. Even with fees. You're gonna, I think the potential for a 3 to 1 is there. Now, one of the things that I always say is like, this is not something where I'm saying stay in this, right? This is it. This is, in my mind, very much the setup. In, out, intraday, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I mean, you're risking going down maybe, you know, a percent. A percent still gives you 2 to 1, right? Like, ain't nobody mad about that. You gonna be mad at me about that? I mean, risking less than a percent, really. I mean, it's a tight stop, but what we're seeing, we'll see the wick first, right? That your stop loss is based off, it's gonna be based off that wick. So, I mean, you need to understand that, like, going into it. So you're like, hey, that's tight. It is tight, but you've already seen your confirmation of the wick coming down and the close down here. So is that going to reduce your 3 to 1 a little bit? Yeah. I mean, real talk. Like, you're probably looking at, you know, probably something a little closer to 2.8, 2.75, because you're not going to be perfect right here. Like, if you were to take the trade right there, that's kind of silly. You haven't really met all the wickets for your entry criteria. But here nor there, that's a trade that I like. If we're looking at, you know, bigger picture stuff, down here around 82 to about 80, I do expect to see some movement out of that area. All right, so if we are to continue down, let's say we come down here, we take that liquidity, what are we not doing? You guys hear me say this all the time. We are not fighting the trend, okay? That is one thing we will not do here, is fight the trend. So if you come down here, you know, let's get a probable move to the upside, value area low, as well as this trend of the channel. That's a 6% move. If you want to be conservative, you take some of the candle closes right here all the way back to the left. That's a 3.36, you know, just a little bit of leverage. Like if you're talking about a, you know, about 3x or so, low capital. This one, you know, I'm not going to say high confidence, but this could turn into some. This could turn into a runner, but I would say don't fight it, okay? So you take it up to the trend line there. Let's just keep the conservative. We'll keep the conservative. And here you go. So yearly pivot, we're going to have to take that in consideration. I think that that's actually going to be a bigger area. Let's look at that. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a wick off of the yearly pivot if we do come down here. So I think realistically, you're going to be somewhere in there. Can we get a 3-to-1? Yeah, 3-to-1's within play for sure. 2-to-1 definitely in play. That just takes you to the closes. All right, not the wicks, but the closes. But this one is much less confidence. All right, just so you understand. A lot less confidence. I don't have all the confluence that I have here. Like the confluence is not, you know, it's within 2000. It's not within, you know, this one is all within like 500-600, right? So this one, opportunity, man, this could be a swing. You know, that's something you could look for, but I'm just a big proponent of not fighting the trend. So you take your little win, maybe 4% win, and then you wait for the actual breakout, right? So if you want to stay in that one, then you take your initial off the table, or you take your stop loss and you slide it to entry or above entry, lock in your fees, all that good stuff. And then if you want to let it run or try to let it run, be my guest. Be my guest. Not how I would treat this one up here, the short. But this one, you know, this one could be open to saying, hey, this could be a little bit of a runner, because you could finally get that breakout retest of that trend, and then you might see a nice little move. You know, does it coincide with all those the options closing and all that, this whole gamma thing? Maybe. If we lose this level though, that's not going to be any fun for anyone. But we're not going to talk much about that right now. We'll look at those levels. We'll get there when we get there. You know what I'm saying? If you see an impulse move to the downside, breakout retest, yearly pivot, then we got to talk about lower numbers. But for now, we'll kind of leave that alone. Let's go over to the chat. Let's see who we got in here. Ooh, got to scroll up just a little bit. We got Bingo Bango Joe in here. What up, man? Trade Intuitions in the house. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Scrolling it down. We got All Set in the house. How you doing, All Set? Hope all is well. We got FJ Trading. Go check him out. He's in the Discord. He's got a YouTube. Go show him some love. Sub, follow, do all the fun stuff. Username's back in the house. What up, bro? How you doing, man?
Sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
I got you, dog. Hope all is well. Tragedy, Hey Teeth. Good. I mean, that must be somebody else you're talking about. Loves the ladders, though. You know it, man. You know it. Let's see. Here we got. Dude, your autocorrect is just crushing it right now. I would love to know this content creator named Tragedy. Maybe that's your portfolio. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. 2 weeks ago, Tragedy needed username to bail him out financially because he bet his house on ETH was going to zero. Me being a good friend, bought his house for him for Christmas. My man. I love it. Hopefully username listened to me when I just was beating him up about 28 to 2,900. I figured it was a magnet, but he didn't listen. All right. Wick's wife, what up? It's a bird, it's a plane, it's TradeFly. How you doing, girl? Good to see you in the chat. Let's get cancel wifey. No. Promote her. All right. Scrolling it down. All right, I think we're good. Let's keep it going. How you doing? Keep it moving. All right, USDT dominance. We talked about that a little bit here. If we are in a trade, or if we're looking at getting into a trade, I would say just bounce one over to USDT dominance, see where it's at, right? Like this can be a little bit of confluence if you're getting to a key level. Let's say, for instance, we get into a short on Bitcoin, right? It would be really, really nice if not the total, but the USDT dominance was up here. Let's get rid of all these. Don't want to confuse anyone. And come on, you can do it. All right, put your ass into it. All right, so if it comes up to 6.5 and you see a rejection out of that level, right, in confluence with Bitcoin getting to our key level of about 94K, hey, that's going to be a nice bit of confluence, right? Because the likelihood is that you may see a rejection, and this 0.786 may come into play when you're looking to get out of that position, right? So if you see those things aligning, you know, again, that could just be a nice little bit of confluence for you to look at. It could help with your decision process in terms of where you're getting in and getting out. Total market cap, we're still flirting with this horizontal, man. It has just been baiting that area up at about 3 trillion. 3 trillion seems to be the magic number for total market cap, just like 28 to 29 for ETH. I mean, you're seeing almost the same thing around this key level for total market cap. Unfortunately, total market cap is still stuck within this channel, but you do see this nice horizontal starting to form where, you know, there's consolidating. It is ranging. It's chopping, baby. Little chop chop. Are we going to chop to the downside or chop to the upside? We shall see. Looks like even though you're starting to see some higher lows, it's more consistently testing the downside, right? The support is getting tested a little bit more than the resistance here. You do see it kind of like laddering up there, but still, you got to be a little bit careful. So if you're looking at a long position on Bitcoin, right? Like looking at a long, hey, we got to break out, or you'd want to see a breakout of this level here at about 3 trillion, getting outside of that channel. And then you're looking for that move to the upside. I think 0.5 will be your first stop, just like Bitcoin, right? Like you can see very similar, where you have this SFP here right around 3.16. Bitcoin looks very similar in terms of, look, almost parallels, right? Pretty identical in terms of the setup here. So, you know, the unfortunate thing is I don't know that total market cap, because I think some of the alts are bleeding a little bit more. I don't know that this will be the area of resistance in terms of looking at that confluence between Bitcoin and total market cap. I think somewhere around 3.05 trillion will probably be more likely of an area to see get rejected for total market cap, right? So if Bitcoin goes up to the level we're talking about with that, was it 80, God, good Lord, 94. If we're looking at the 94K, you know, you're looking at total market cap. I don't know. It might go up there. It might. But, you know, you could be looking at this level right here, you know, maybe at about 3.05. So, you know, those two are, you know, something I would keep an eye on. I don't know, like you don't necessarily put all the weight into it, but again, nice little bit of confluence in terms of looking for, you know, support resistance on other charts that add a little confluence to getting into some trades here. Let's go over to ETH real quick. We'll look at that. I have been looking at this level down here. You are within the golden, or not, you're not currently within the golden pocket, but if you do move down, there could be an opportunity here to see a little bounce in this zone, retest the low of the range, especially the candle closes here, and this horizontal, this 28 to 2900. We've taught that at absolute nauseum. So tired of talking about it, but you could get an opportunity for a little bounce up here. That's about an 8% move. Three, you know, I say a 3 to 1 is definitely within play. Looking for that bounce out of there. But you really want this to hold, like real for real. You want this area 28, 2900 to really hold. It's trying its best right now. So we'll see. And this one is clear as well in terms of seeing you are getting higher lows. I mean, this is a little aggressive, but here nor there. I mean, you're starting to get a little bit of some higher highs there as well. This pullback though was a little aggressive. I think they dropped some on your head a little bit. People were taking some profits. I was not the only one looking at 28 to 2900, that's for sure. So here you go. Right now you're over a key level for Ethereum. Bitcoin does get a little turn here. You could see a move, I'd say up to 31.5 or so is a pretty probable realistic move. All right, somebody just connected to my AirPods Pro. Awesome. I hope that doesn't mess this all up. Standby 1. Yep. Totally just messed everything up. I gotta call my kid. He just... Can you guys still hear me? Test, test, test. It looks like I'm coming through. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. I've got no audio right now. All right, cool. Let me hit my kid up. Goodness gracious. This is hilarious. You just messed up my audio, kid. I'm live. All right. Well, hopefully, I don't know if you guys have any music in the background or not, but whatever. You got me. I can see it. I can see it on the old wavelength there, so we are good. Let me just make sure that it's the microphone that is what's coming through. Hopefully it is. All right, so ETH, we looked at that. Let's take a look-see at Apple. Apple's looking good on the day. It's up a little bit, but hey, we were looking at this level right here, right? This channel, we've talked about that quite a bit. Came down to the 0.786. Looks like it's trying, but this is not, short-term things with Apple, not really the jam for me. You do have the range demand here down around like 2, it goes a little higher, but honestly, I would be more intrigued down at about 230, 226, and that area 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, just above the trend here, range demand, and a nice clear horizontal. Okay, so I do like that zone, 226 to about, like I said, 230 for Apple. Now, that's a pretty big pullback, but look, it does that, right? It's been following this channel, and we've talked about it for years. All right, it goes way back. We're talking, you could argue here, right, in 2018, or, right here where I kind of started it, 2020. All right, so that's a 5-year channel. A 5-year channel. Let that sink in. So this was a nice one, right? Very similar setups. Okay, very similar setups. This right here, very similar to this right here. All right, we're just moving it up a little bit because we are still moving to the upside, right? The trend is still moving to the upside. So when we look for these pullbacks, we look for something that makes sense. Again, I think horizontal levels show you a lot. They tell you a lot where there's both support, resistance, impulse moves, breakout retest, rejections. You see it all right there at 226 to 230 for Apple. So that's something I would mark on your charts if you're into stocks and trading those. Let's look at coin. That is Coinbase. If you don't know, you should know. But that currently, where is that? No. There it is. 240, 241. All right. So 241, you are coming down. This is, I guess, the golden pocket of this swing low to the high. I don't know. I really don't know, to be honest with you, if that's something I'd be interested in right now. Because you've already kind of retested the low of the range, right? You got rejected right there, 283, 299, 300, right? You got rejected out of there. And now you're coming back for a subsequent retest of the golden pocket. So that one's tough. You would like to see some buying pressure come in and get back over, at least. So if you zoom in a little bit, all right, you're seeing a pretty clear horizontal level right here at about 258, where you see support and you see resistance, and then you come back left, you see support and you see resistance, and an impulse move through that zone. So I think that's a pretty key level at about 258 for coin. I probably wouldn't be too interested in taking a long position on coin until you get over top of that, strictly just looking at some of the horizontals. If you do get back over top of that, reestablish the range above, then you could look for, a nice little move from 260 to about 280, I think is respectable and, potentially probable if it does move back up into that zone there. So take a look at that. Let's look at strategy. We were looking at a potential opportunity here. Now, one of the things we were talking about is we wanted to get back above, right? You wanted a big move above, come back, retest the zone. I would say this is dead and gone. It's not something that I would look for now on strategy. Right now, it's just a slow trickle to the downside here, losing some key levels, continuing down. You got the POC of a previous range here that it just no longer wants to respect. So yeah, not looking great for strategy, unfortunately. So now you start looking at something a little lower for strategy, right? Where did it consolidate previously? Right around here. You got top side at probably about 172, bottom side around 100, 108. Okay, so that could be interesting. That could be very interesting, right? Just coming down to the low of that range where it consolidated. We do want to let's look at the VRVP. Oh yeah, you got a lot of volume there. And then, yeah, there's an uptick, right? You can see this. Let's go ahead and draw it real quick for you. Right here. Little gap in volume. Starts to pick back up right there. Okay. So right where you have the range demand, man, you would like to see it right here. I guess that's kind of the end. Kind of the end of where there's some volume. Yeah, so there's some hopium there, right? You got the value area low, 0.786. There's a little bit of hope like right there that you could get price action come down, bounce back up, at least retest the low of that range. So that's potentially probable if you're into strategy, but I'm not a big strategy guy. It feels like playing with leverage on the stock market, even though it's not. Just kind of feels that way. What happened to? There we go. Let's look at CVD real quick. Yeah. What happened to my liquidity? What TradingView? What are you doing? What are you doing? My scripts. Let's go down. All right, bring that up real quick. Very faint lines. I gotta make that a little bit bigger. So liquidity is looking at up here. Not much it's drawn. So the look back probably doesn't go far enough back to incorporate this zone here, to be honest with you. But yeah, CVD looking not the best. Try to get a little bounce, but it's starting to work its way back down again. So that's tough. I would say, like, hey, if it does push back up, if you do finally get the breakout retest of this zone, then you can start looking at it, for a little move to the upside here. But right now, that's not something I'm truly thinking about. Seeing that you came up, I mean, really, and it's starting to close. You're starting to get these closes below the zone, right? Below the POC, below the 0.66, not ideal. So, but not a big deal, right? You shouldn't be in a position right now. And it's a matter of just waiting and being patient to see if we actually get this breakout retest of the area or the zone that we're looking at here. And I say that kind of aligns with about I would say probably 183, top of the range. Yeah, pretty close to the top. Well, you got this one right here. But 183 or so would probably be an area that I would be looking for. But it's going to be, you got some time, I think. Let's see. Let's look at NVIDIA real quick. NVIDIA's green on the day, 2.99%. We did not get it to come all the way down to the area we were looking at. It already got a bounce out of that zone. Well, not the zone, but it kind of front ran it. All right, so a nice strong move for NVIDIA. That's looking okay. That's not looking terrible, to be honest with you. But I would say mark this on your chart at least. Put an alert at about 164, 165. If it does come back down here for whatever reason, I would expect an initial bounce, just an initial. And it would probably come back up to, like the high volume area, high volume node. But really, down here is an area that I would really keep an eye on, right? You see the volume starts coming back in. Again, it's something you should just kind of pay attention to. Where is the volume on the chart? And again, boom, that's where it starts picking up again. More of it's down here. I mean, obviously, you're going to have some better, areas. This is where liquidity is as well. But here nor there, 0.382, if you're looking for bullish continuation on the Fibonacci retracements, 0.382 is a nice spot. You have a very clear horizontal. You have volume picking back up in that area as well. So let's go ahead and talk about that area in terms of, looking for a potential long, about 150 to about 154 for NVIDIA is something that you guys can keep an eye on. But understand that once you lose this area that we're consolidating, right? You're seeing very clear range consolidation. If you lose that, that's bearish. Okay, so taking a play back up to that range, yes, probable, yes, I think the odds are good that you retest the low of the range, right? That's pretty normal when you break out, right? You break down, you'll test this level, you'll shoot back up, you'll retest, and you'll see a rejection. So, taking a potential long up to that area would make some sense in my mind. Now, it doesn't hit all the wickets in terms of me looking for, an A+ setup, but at the same time, it is a potential setup that you guys could explore. One thing is, you gotta see where your wick comes down to, right? So 2-to-1, 3-to-1, yeah, that's in play. So you get a nice little 7% move, 2.57. Take that, it probably goes down to about 2 by the time you get into the trade. By the time you incorporate fees, you just got to keep it reals with yourself. So that area I do like, and I think it's probable to see the bounce out of that area. But again, base hits. All right, intraday, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and keep it moving. All right, let's go over to the chat. I haven't said too much to you guys. Sometimes I just don't come up for air much, but let's see what we got going on here. We got, all right, DDT said Frankie's stream is done, so he is here. Let's go. We lose music. Kids are overrated. Yeah, no doubt, man. Man, I love them, but goodness gracious. Let's see. Wifey has been canceled. Oh no. We got Mikey in the chat. What up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. Who else we got? We got Nathan. What up? How you doing? And strategy lacks strategy. Yeah, ain't no doubt about that. He's crazy. That dude is, he's lost billions before. Like billions. He put a company under. And it's almost like maybe he gets fixated. Maybe he's trying to prove everyone he's the smartest guy in the room. But the problem is when you're so public, like about that, then there's going to be people that kind of try to ensure that you're not the smartest guy in the room. And you've seen that with that James Wynn dude. He was taking those big plays. And, I feel like they were hunting him, to be real. I feel like they were hunting him. I mean, but it is what it is. That dude was YOLOing some money. And then now he's like shilling stuff. I don't know what's up with that dude. I don't know if did y'all see, like he challenged Tom Crown to a fight. Dude. And I was like, if Tom doesn't do it, I was like, bro, I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me up. Tom, you can be in my corner. I'll represent the people. I've been looking to try to get in one of those, what is it, the IFC, the influencer fights or whatever. Like, I know it sounds lame, but hey, going out there, putting the sweat in and throwing some hands, like, you can't hate on that. I mean, is it low grade fights? Yeah, but still, like, those respect. You step in that ring, respect, period. But I will step in the ring if that dude is down to throw hands a little bit. It'll be fun. Let's see here. I saw Soul in the chat. Let's go ahead and take a look at Soul. You know what we got to do though. Whoop whoop. All right, here we go. Let's look at Soul real quick. We'll bring the CVD up. Yep, that's kind of trending to the downside on the daily. Yuck. Yeah, I mean, we got a little bounce. I mean, this almost looks like it was just trying to grab some liquidity, but that looks yucky. That looks yucky. Right here, I mean, that's nasty. So you want to see a better reaction, and you do want to see it push up, get back over about 126. 126 will make you feel a lot better, especially start getting some closes up here. Make you feel a lot better about pushing back up to about 144. So, I mean, I think that's on the table. We've seen it come down below the zone before. Obviously, the zone's not going to be perfect, but you don't want to start seeing candle closes below here. Remember, I told you, the one thing I talked about here, I was like, hey, if you see the candle closes down here, and this next one, that's what I remember I said this. I said, if this next candle is not bullish, then hold on. Well, thankfully, you got a bullish candle pushing you back into the zone. So it's trying to stay above looking at some of the volume here, you can see, there's just a mix of volume. But I think if you push back up here and you start seeing candle closes up here, especially if you get over this high volume node, I do think that, getting back up to 143, 144 is probable, but I do not like the way this looks right now. So it's not something that I would per se jump on. You would like to see this go a little bit more horizontal, start seeing a series of higher lows, kind of break this horizontal level right there at about 128. Then that makes you feel a lot better about going back up to 144. So for right now, this was a play. This was a play. This is not a play for me, personally. I'm not that interested. And you really got to keep your eye on if we start working down again. Like if this trend, the resistance here, if that continues down to get below, 121 and you start seeing candle closes, then yikes. Honestly, like it would be hard for me to say where that's headed. Let's go ahead and bring this out just a little bit. Yeah, you see the volume starting to pick up here. I mean, that's probably your next spot. I already got it kind of on the charts for you. $100 is your psychological area. You got the POC of the range, but we've already tested that. So you know that at this point, if you're looking at liquidity, that's your zone, right? That's your zone. You got the value area low of the previous range, and then you got liquidity that's going to be below this wick at about 95. So to see a wick come down, enter that zone, and then look for the bounce, right? You got to get that buying pressure to come in. God, what a fall. What a freaking fall, though, for Sol. I mean, you were as high as 295. Everyone was bullish AF around Sol. But look at that. And man, I ain't going to say I told you so, but there was people that were in Sol, and I was like, hey, man, getting back up here. I was looking at the POC as well as value area high up here, and I was like, I think that might be a wrap. But, I was like, because people are going to take profits. They're not completely dumb. Anyways, so here's your next opportunity, I'd say, for Sol. Somewhere around 90, 92 to about 100. And again, 100's a nice little psychological area as well. So if you're in a position, if you've started to ladder in, is what it is. I mean, I would just be careful. This was, for me, like when I was looking at laddering into some positions, this was it for Sol. Like this was, all right, cool. We start, if we go up to here, you're done. So I'm not taking the position of, hey, I buy here, then I buy here, because we already bought here, sold here. So like for me, like I'm not now very interested in Solana unless it were to come back down, or if it were to come down to this level here at about 92 to, like I said, about 99 or so. Then I would consider, taking a position, and I would look for it to push back up, to the low, really this level here. And when I say here, I'm talking probably, I'd say around 119 to 121. And that would be the move I'm looking for there. So let's measure that out. Let's actually we'll put a long box on it. Let's say that we get in here and we'll take the bottom right there. And there you go. So, I mean, that's very much, yeah, I'd say that's super probable. I mean, 21% move is a really, really nice move. You wouldn't have to put any leverage on that at all. That would be, a spot buy. Your drawdown would be potentially 6%, about 6%, with the potential to earn 21%. And I think it's probable. I think it's realistic, based on looking at the charts here, that you could see that move. And that gives you about a 3-to-1. So let me take a picture of that. That's not terrible right now. Right now, I'm not too interested. But if it were to work its way down, you might even take a short down to that level, or try, right? Try to take a short, put your stop loss conservatively, and you could hedge it as well, right? So by that, I mean, like, hey, this comes down, say you take a short down here, and you take profit, take your initial out, and then you take that long position. That is definitely, may not be a bad idea. But anyways, let me post this, or at least take a picture of it. We'll download the image real quick. Let me do that so people can see it better when I take the picture. Bro, I gotta get that There's a soundbite from Bad Boys 2 where he's in the bathroom. He's like, Mike, take the picture. I gotta get that. It's funny to me. Bad Boys 2 was one of my favorite movies for a little while. Let's go over to Market Monkey Terminal. We got about 8 minutes left. Let's see what that's talking to us. CVD is working its way down on the 4-hour. Ugly. Open interest is starting to work its way up. So that does mean that some more hands are coming in. But CVD overall, not looking great. Honestly, not looking great. Doesn't give me a lot of hopium in terms of, seeing this price have a, significant jump to the upside here. So looking at some of the buys and sells that are on the books right now. I mean, all the way up here, not really much to write home about, but it's consistent at least. And then all the way down at about 83,178. And I don't know, this one's short, right? So I don't get too wrapped around these. These ones, I take it more into consideration, the ones that stay. Like, look how consistent that is. That stayed on, it's been on, all the way since December. Well, of course, I can't really see it. Early December. All right, we'll say early December. So that, that might stay on the books, but that's not a huge order. It's only a couple hundred. So I don't know that that's really going to be enough to really move the market unless, they're laddering in. That's their initial, and then they might jump in a little bit more heavy-handed. You can see that sometimes with the makers or just, big whales. They'll put a little amount out, and then all of a sudden they jump in hard and kind of follow on to that position. But, what you would like to see is a little divergence, right? The price action, even if it were to be working down, you want to see that CVD start to work its way up, start setting a series of higher highs at a minimum. Would be something that I would be looking for CVD. Open interest at least is starting to kind of work its way up, but that doesn't tell us much right now with CVD being just extremely flat and ultimately overall kind of working its way down to be realsies. So right now, I think it's kind of chill mode, man. This, again, nice confirmation when you're getting into trades. Overall analysis right now, I would just say CVD not looking great. So, all right, back to the charts. Oh gosh. Straight into the first thing I see. I got to read it. The first thing I see is Harp sucks farts. Oh my gosh. Bad Boys 2, that was in 1984, right? No, that was not in 1984. It was not. But that was, I think, the best one. Out of the whole Bad Boys series, I think Bad Boys 2 was the best one, personally. Let's see. Night. Let's look at night. We'll take a quick look at that. Good night for night. Goodness. We'll go down to the 4-hour. Give us a little bit more of a read here. Yeah, I think I remember talking about this. It might have been on the Discord. Goodness gracious, it might come to fruition. All right, it is testing the top of the range here. You're getting a little support, a little bounce off of that, but still, I mean, there's a little bit of volume there. You got the 0.5 fib, but I like this a little bit better. A little bit deeper. I reserve your comments. I already know where that's going. I know where that's going. Gosh. So when you say stuff sometimes live, you're like, oh my God. Like, I already know what they're thinking. Anyways, volume's coming in right there. You got the golden pocket. There's obviously was some resistance there before ultimately breaking out, right? Moving to the upside. So keep an eye on that level right there at about 0.7 or 0.07, sorry. 0.07 is an area that, I would look for a potential bounce for night. Something I would actually be interested in. We'll see. It's not surprising to see a significant pullback, and that's one of the things that I talked about was, hey, like seeing a significant pullback at this point, people are going to take profits. It happens over and over again. But what you see is it comes down to the golden pocket a lot of times. A lot of times when you get these moves, this is very common to see where it comes back down to the golden pocket. And then ultimately, you see it continue its move to the upside. So right now, a lot of bullish sentiment around night. which is might be a good thing for Cardano in the long run, right? Like, there's Cardano's been getting beat up, man. It has not been pretty. That's down 2% on the day, but you are down here to a buy zone. I did ladder in, just so you know. I did that live, actually. So I have now bought here, and I've now bought here. Here's the median. That is, I believe, the middle here. And I think my cost basis is actually a little bit lower. I just did quick math, right? I just divided it by 2. Sum divided by 2, get a median. I think my cost base is a little bit closer to 42. But here nor there, that's about where we need to go at this point to be break even. And then I will be looking forward to come back up here at minimum, to the bottom of this range here. And that's where I'll go ahead and get out. So that's the current game plan right now for Cardano, but it is just good. Yeah, it's looking bad. It really is. I wish I had something better to say about it, but the chart just looks yucky. Let's see, CBD on the 4-hour, trash as well. Let's look at it on the daily. Let's bring this down just a little bit. Yeah, that looks bad too. That's not even starting to bend up at all. Yeah, no bueno. No bueno Cardano. That's I think that's what I'm gonna be saying about Cardano. No bueno Cardano. Goodness gracious, man. Yeah, I think I hold about, I want to say about 30-some thousand Cardano right now. Something like that. Be nice if it goes up to $1 again, huh? But I'll be out. I'll take it. I'll take profit here. If it breaks out, it retests. Cool. I'll get back in. I'll throw that capital back in, take it back up again to about 60 cents. And that's kind of the game plan there. Take base hits. Base hit, got it. Base hit, got it. And, if it doesn't, one of these loses, let's say it goes up here and it's unable to maintain and I get stopped out, no biggie, right? I still have all the profit that's from the median up here to the low of the range. So that's kind of the way I'm approaching that right now. AVAX, it's a sad story. It's gotten its butt whooped. I mean, I'm bullish on the ecosystem, right? Like, I think that it's got utility, but it just doesn't have, there's nothing behind it. Nobody really cares about AVAX, unfortunately, even though they're doing good things in the world. Will I invest in it? Yeah. I think long run, it's going to have utility. But, kind of same approach right now. This one, I readily admit I'm upside down in AVAX right now, but I have a plan. Same plan as I do with Cardano. It just hasn't come down to my buy zone to add, more into AVAX. But I don't think I'm going to be upset. Like, if it comes down to, $9, $8, like scooping up some AVAX. Again, it's not a lot, right? It's a small percentage in terms of the capital I have allotted for trading. But, it's a conservative way to get in. Ladder into the position, bring your cost basis down. And, that's when you accumulate. When you're projecting the market to go down, we're not timing the bottom. This is the way to get into it without timing the bottom, is that you just start laddering into a position, right? Like it's really hard to predict the bottom, right? And we would all love to catch the bottom. We'd all love to be right. And I probably will be, like, I will probably be able to say that I bought the bottom on something, right? Like I'll be able to do that because of the way that I'm getting into these different investments, right? Like I'm laddering in and I'm using key levels as I ladder into the positions. So, but I'm not going to be that guy. I'm definitely not going to be the guy, hey, I bought the bottom, look at me. That's not really my style. But, like, by taking this approach where you're laddering into a position, like the probability is you might catch some bottoms, but understanding you're not aping in, at any one particular place. You're taking that position and then you're taking another position and you're bringing your cost basis down. So when it all comes down to it, like, your cost basis will not be at the bottom, even though you will have bought, potentially the bottom. Just zooming out on Bitcoin real quick, looking at, man, about 70K. That's interesting. Very interesting in terms of volume. I heard somebody talking about that area today. 74 actually makes, I kind of like that. I'm going to mark that real quick. Let's do a little trend. There you go. That is an interesting spot. You actually see some liquidity right here. This is, I'm working on it. It's not really a liquidity heat map. I might have to update the naming convention on that just because of the way it actually works. But you can see some liquidity there. But I like this, right? Because you can see top of the range, right? Rejection, move up. You can even see like a little bit, look right here. If you go to lower time frames, you probably try to retest that area as well. But I mean, that looks like a nice little level. And I believe if you zoom, well, I guess you got to cherry pick it a little bit. The zoom that I was at one point, you saw some volume there as well. And that would make a lot of sense. Top of the range, came down, retested that area. You do see volume coming in at this zoom level at least. Man, 74K. You know, and I heard someone talk about that zone today, 70, 74K. And that was the CEO of an exchange. All right, the CEO of an exchange, he actively trades as well. He's looking at that level. So something for you guys to mark on your charts. If a CEO of an exchange is talking about a level, I'd say pay attention. Pay attention. No doubt about it. All right. Well, fam, I think that about wraps it up. Ain't got too much going on here. What do we have? We had a position open, right? We had a position open. Let's check that real quick. Let's see, we got a 20X. Is this the, yeah, this is the demo. You're up a whopping $3.02. All right. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm gonna go close that right now. Estimated P&L, $6. Man, they're heavy on the fees. On the, that's kind of nice though. Are they incorporating fees into the, they are. They're incorporating it into the demo account. That's actually pretty cool. So that gives you a little false bit of hope. Good God, now it's just getting beat up as I wait for it, as I'm talking about it. All right, well, now it's a loser. Sorry, guys. You guys lost. Poof. Poof. But that's kind of cool. So this is the demo account. And, you know, they're incorporating the fees into that when they're looking at the P&L. That's actually really, that's a useful thing. Because when you're practicing and you're trading and you don't incorporate the fees into that trading, it sometimes can be a little deceiving, especially when you're doing back testing and you're doing scalping. So when you're scalping, like, it's really, really hard because your fees stack up really, really quick. And like, it's a lot harder to make money, right? Because you guys are potentially charged, I think it's like 0.06 as, you know, somebody with like no deal with the exchange. So 0.06, if you're looking at $2,500 a margin, you know, you're looking at like a 44X, like, you know, if you take like the Alexo scalp strategy that he was using for a while, that's $120 in fees on each side of executing that trade. So, I mean, like, that's something you gotta take into consideration. I have a calculator that I actually developed, a little Excel calculator for that, just so you can kind of figure out what your fees will be. And you kind of incorporate that as you're developing a strategy, but it's really something you have to take into consideration. It's a substantial amount. But that being said, come on over to 2bit. I mean, I got, if you don't want 2bit, that's fine. 2bit gives you access to the Discord. But, you know, I have other deals out there. Just come over to the Discord, go into, let me look at it real quick. I'll bring up, I don't care about that. All right. Let's go to my Discord here. I believe it's under sponsors. Here, I'll bring this up real quick. All right. So I got deals with 2bit. I got deals with BYDFi and BitUnix, or BitUnix is actually, I think, how you say it. But I'll save you guys 20% on both of those. And then for BYDFi, it saves you, or it gives you VIP too. All right, so that saves you money as well. It's pretty useful. Now, that being said, 2bit gives you access to the Discord. Like, you can come in and be in the general chat and all this stuff right here in the danger zone, you'll have access to. But literally, it's pretty simple. If you want full access to all the Discord where you can see all the traders, right? You got Alex O will drop some TA in there, Crypto Squids in there, FJ, HRJ, Rich Berry, all of us are dropping TA, signals, all that stuff. And literally, you just set up an account, put $5 in it, like I said. And again, that's yours. None of that's coming to me. And then you just go right down here, you verify your UID, and you have access to all of that. So I'm giving you a cut on the exchange money. Like, and people were trying to talk me out of this. Let me, just so you know, like the reps were like, why are you doing that? It's silly. And I was like, I mean, if I give back to the people, they're more inclined to use it, right? Everybody's got an affiliate link. Everyone and their mother, but how many are giving you 20% off your spot and your futures? Now, the spot and the futures is only on 2bit, just so you know. Spot and futures. Now, 20% off your spot trading fees is pretty substantial as well, because not many people offer that. But again, come on over, like, try it out. Like, what's the worst that can happen? You're out $5, and really you can send that back off the exchange if you want, you know, in a few minutes of your time, and you get access to all that. I mean, I don't know anyone that's giving you a better deal here, to be honest with you. It's the whole whopping price of free, and really you can save money. So anyways, check that out. Let's go over to the signal, not the signals, the Flex Erect. People flexing their P&Ls. Let's see what we got. Oh, see? Look at this. My peeps in here. We got Squid posting some positive P&Ls there, up $100, up to what, like 50 some bucks, $68. There you go. And then my man Hart, check him out. 43% banger, 50% banger. Look at it, 52% banger. Me in there with a 33% banger. 105% banger. I'm just saying. Uh-oh, someone lost. We got to keep it real, though. I love Hart because he actually keeps it real. Yep, upside down on that one, man. But we keep it real. Like, I will post in there, you know, my losses as well. Like, I keep it real. At any point, if people want to see the P&L for 30 days, ask me. I got no problem posting it. And I keep it transparent. Let's see. HRJ. Bang, bang. Bang, let's go. Look at this, man. 200%, 104%. Again, get access to all that stuff. You know, that's super valuable. All right, cool. That's enough shilling. Minutes and minutes of shilling my own Discord. Ugh, makes me sick. Anyways. Oh, hold up. We got Al Jr. in the house. What up, man? You're late to the party, bro. We got Alex O. What up, dude? My man. I'm over in Alex O's Discord as well. I love that guy. Alex is a friend. He's fan bam outside of this content creator world as well. Really good dude. Really good dude. What you see is what you get with him, man. He's been very helpful for me in the space, no doubt about it. All right. But we got Al Jr. You know we got to read that. Here we go. Oh, get the blunts and blow the sky because it's mother effing time to TradeFly. LFG. Dap it. And that is how you get demonetized on YouTube. Let's go. Charles, what up to you, man? Good to see you in the chat as well. All right. Out of gang. Let's get it. Yeah, much love, Alex. Thank you for being here, brother. Go check his... I say... I'm putting myself out of business, man. I keep sending people to Alex's Discord because honestly, like, my Discord, like, I'm not charging for it, which is dope. It's a great value. But Alex has the best Discord, I think, that I've been exposed to. I've been in a few, and I'm not going to say whose Discords I've been in and out, but it's names in the space, I promise you. I think Alex has one of the best. So if you're looking for a premium Discord, you know, yes, you're going to have to pay for it, but you have some really sharp cats in there giving you signals, but they also go live in the Discord as well, pretty regular. And it's a real big hookup. So I always support my homie. He's always supported me. you know, check them out. Check them out. If that's something you guys are looking at, like you want to get the skinny on like how to trade, right? There's probably a little less of that. I'd say when I'm in there in the Discord, I kind of give you the how to, but not as much as you can get in there. But that's why you got to pay, right? Like you get what you pay for. And I think you get a lot in Alex's Discord. All right. That being said, I've put myself out of business long enough. Much love to everybody in the chat. Love you guys. As always, trade safe. Be safe. I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man.
Looks like there's no music. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to fix it on the fly there, but I think my son knocked out all the music, so it is what it is. But I hope everybody has a great one. Much love to you guys. Enjoy the holidays. I might jump on Thursday for maybe a little Christmas episode. It'll probably be short though. Just jump on, say what's up to you guys. Wish you a happy holiday. All that good stuff. Again, hope everyone has a good one. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you later.